Hello everyone, welcome back to another video with me. My name is Cotton Candy Doll, and if you're new here, then welcome. Welcome all. Hi, this is a shifting video. You might hear some noises in the background and you might hear some insanely happy laughter. I am going to jump right into what happened. So I went back to the My Hero Academia universe, and I was supposed to go back that Monday night, but I decided to go Tuesday. However, when I got there, I was pretty surprised when I walked into Toshinori's house. He's sitting there with Frodo. And so like I came in the door, I'm like, oh, it's you and Frodo. He goes, yeah, goodbye. He hands me Frodo and leaves. Because the thing is, when I go, my days with Frodo are kind of like I don't really talk to the guys. It's all about Frodo, that sort of thing. And the last time Toshinori tried to spend time with me and Frodo, some stuff happened. Long story short, Frodo's behavior has kind of been like spiraling out of control. So together, the three of us decided, me, Toshinori, um, Kago, and Dever, we all decided it's time to start giving him spankings if he can't behave himself. Because I've been told that my child is the thing of nightmares, and no parent wants to ever hear that about their kid. I want to hear that my kid is such a sweet little boy. I am going to jump right into what happened because it was really chaotic. Um, but yeah, that day when I went back, I ended up having to spend it with Frodo because I get 1 day a week that I spend with him, and then I go back again, and it's my day with Keiko, or it's my day with Toshinori, whoever I have for that week, or sometimes both of them. So they gave me Frodo, and I actually wasn't really in the mindset I needed to be when I was with him. I wasn't prepared to spank him if he did anything. So I was just like, I'll just go about my day, and if I have to do it, I'll do it. Hopefully he'll behave himself. So I sat Frodo down. I was making his lunch for him. Long story short, I set a jug of milk up on the counter. I'm holding Frodo in my hands. Frodo reaches over and pulls it off the counter. Some milk is pouring on the floor, and this kid is sitting here laughing. So I took him in the other room because whenever you punish a kid, it's better to just take them out of the room. I took his arm and I smacked his arm a few times, and I said, "No, no, Frodo." And Frodo looked around because I think he was just shocked the fact that did mommy just like hit me or whatever? Did I just get in trouble for that? Like I don't know what was going on through his head. He was like looking around. And then I didn't contact him after. I didn't make any eye contact. I didn't, really pay attention to him. I kind of ignored him in a sense that um, I was paying attention to him before. I just sat him in the chair. I strapped him in so he couldn't really move that much. And then I went and got his food. So I'm like, Frodo, open up. I made his little oatmeal. I'm like, open up, Frodo. And then he just burst out crying. "Ah!" And I'm just like, okay, well, I guess you don't want to eat then. So I put him in his room. I turned off the light, like I put him in his crib, and I said, I guess it's nap time now. Good night, Frodo. And I left him in there. And that was basically my day with Frodo. I didn't really deal with any other bad behavior, but I was not prepared to do that. I did have to look away because his reaction kind of made me want to laugh at him a little because he was just so shocked. Like, oh my God, did I get hit? Like, yeah, dude, because you're freaking bad. And before I left, I told Kago, you need to get another jug of milk. He's like, we're out already. I'm like, yeah. He's like, damn it. And I know we were at Toshinori's house, but some of Frodo's food goes over there sometimes. So Toshinori wasn't going to buy another jug of milk. It wasn't his. So anyway, I shifted back here and I said, okay, next time I go back, I get to talk to Toshinori about what happened. So I went back to my hero and I walked into the school and the kids were all excited. They're like, guess what, Miss Cotton Candy? Guess what? I'm like, what? And they're like, we get to go to the carnival today. And they were like so excited. And they were like, I was like, I thought that, the tickets were like next week. Oh, oh, you know, Mr. Hawks bought them early. And I'm just like, you got the tickets early? Why? Why would he get, I'm like, why would he get the tickets early for the carnival? Like, that would have been a perfect day because it was my training day with them. I kind of wanted that to be a special time with me and the kids from Class A, but I'm just like, whatever. So Midoriya is holding his ticket in his hand. He's just laughing and walking along, and Kaminari's walking over, and all the kids are kind of walking over. And I'm like, okay, so let's all get on the bus and let's head to the carnival, you know? And I looked around to see if I could see Toshinori or Keigo. I couldn't see any of them. So we get on the bus, we get there, and I check for everyone to make sure everyone's there. All the kids are there. Surprise, surprise. I knew they would be anyway because they all like the carnival. And I was like, "Who wants a corn dog?" And they're like, "I want one. I want one." So all the kids are playing and everything. They're at the carnival. They're having a great time. And I'm walking off by myself, and I notice there's like a booth over to the side, and it says 18 or older. And I'm like, "Okay, 18 or older has never been here before. What is this?" And they were like, so Toshinori is manning this one today. And I said, so it's for like grown-ups only? It's for teachers or? And they said, you can only do this if you're off the clock, but you're on the clock right now, so you can't. I mean, obviously I can't drink, which that's really irresponsible, and I wouldn't do it anyway. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go get on the Ferris wheel. Kirishima's over there with he was over there with Bakugo, and then Tetsu, what was that kid's name? One of them, the one that makes himself out of metal, which they weren't the only class there, was other classes there too. But I don't know all the kids' name. I try to memorize everyone. Uh, who else? Regardless, I was there, and Midoriya was on the Ferris wheel, and he's like waving at me. I'm waving back at him like hi. So then Toshinori comes up behind me. He's like, "Cotton candy doll," and I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Did you find out about my new booth? It's over there." He's like, "This is after hours." I go, "Yeah, but Toshinori, I can't really participate in that because I'm with the kids." And he's like, "Well, while you're here, you'll be fine. Just, it's okay to have at least one drink." And I'm like, "No, thank you. I'm not gonna have any drinks." I said, "Oh, so this is a drink then?" He's like, "We're having like sake, and we have like rice wine, and we have basically a lot of Asian cuisine, but also Asian drinks," which I thought was pretty awesome because I love the Asian culture. So people are starting to walk up, like other customers. People I've noticed from like My Hero Academia show, like Fat Gum was actually there getting a drink. He's sitting down, and he looked at me and smiled, and I like waved at him, and he's like, "Hi." Like, I don't know if he remembers me from the time when he was trying to get that gun from me. Remember? Uh, when I was like, when I came there and I was like a villain, yeah. So he's sitting there having his drink. I'm like keeping an eye on the kids because I know that even though I'm here with them, I need to like pay attention to the kids. But then Isabel Nezu came over, and he's like, "So Miss Cotton Candy Dye, I want to thank you for taking everyone to the carnival today. It's a great break for everyone." He's like, "Why don't you just take the rest of the day off and just hang out here? I know Toshinori wanted you to check out this new cuisine bar." And I said, "Sure, have you seen Keigo anywhere?" And he's like, "He'll be here shortly. He said he had to get something." So I'm like, "Okay." So I'm sitting over there, me and Toshinori are just talking, and I go, "Toshinori, I wanted to ask you about what happened last time with Bakugo. I still feel like I need to acknowledge that." And he said, "You know what, Miss Cotton Candy Doll? Don't even worry about it." I go, "Okay." Because like I didn't realize that there was other people at the bar with us. They just popped up out of nowhere for some reason. Midnight ended up on this side. And Fago was standing on the other side of me. He was already there, but like I didn't think he was really paying attention. But it seems like when I started talking, everyone's attention kind of went like that toward me. So like so I took Toshinori. I was like, "Can I have a drink of sake?" And he's like, "Sure." And I'm like, "I've never actually had sake." He's like, "You have it?" I'm like, "No." It's actually kind of a lie. I kind of did have sake, but I didn't really have it. So I look over Midoriya. He's playing around on, he's playing around on like, so the bottom of the Ferris wheel has this I don't know what it is, like a little swinging something, some weird type of device, but it's just for decoration. So he's climbing on that. Like, look what I can lift myself up now. And I'm like, "Midoriya, don't do that." And then Toshinori is like, "Just relax. He'll be fine. He's not gonna hurt himself. These are not little kids. They're not, Frodo's age. It's fine." And the tone in his voice is kind of like very stern, very like strict like. And I feel like he's still angry about what happened. So I really want to acknowledge him. I really want to talk to him about it. But I can't because there's too many people around. So I feel like I'm not going to get my point across today. So then I feel someone's hand touch my shoulder. I turn around and it's Kago, and he's like, hey, he kisses me on the cheek. And I'm like, hey. And then he's like, did you try the sake yet? And I'm like, yes, I did. And he goes, which one did you try? And I'm like, plum. He's like, I'm having the same thing. So then he's like, move over. And he tries to sit in the seat with Fat Gum. He tries to like scoot over. And, he's like, well, I'm going to go get, a corn dog or something. I want some Western food. And he leaves and he walks over that way. So now I'm sitting there with Kago, and Kago is like, he kind of nudges me a little. And I'm like, what? He's like, drink up. And I'm like, okay. So I take another sip of my drink, and I'm just like, and Toshinori is like, well, it's almost time for me to take like a little break. So I've been here for like an hour now. And I'm like, has an hour really gone by? Like, dang. I know there's not really any concept of time here. So I'm just like, okay. So Toshinori is sitting there. Then he's like, I think I'll join you in that drink too. And okay, so the chairs we're sitting in are like stools. It's like bar stools, but they have a back on it, and it has kind of like a little armrest on it. These chairs are really fancy. Okay, I wonder how I don't think I've ever seen them there, but they were like white fancy freaking chairs. Okay, and so I'm sitting down in the chair, and the chair gets pulled back a little bit by Kegel. So my chair is kind of like this. And then Toshinori is like, drink. And he puts the drink up to me, and he's like tilting it. And so like I'm trying to like do this, like I'm trying to like stop him from giving me a drink, but I have no choice to drink it or it's gonna go all over my clothes, by which I had on like school clothes. I wasn't expecting to go to a carnival, otherwise I probably would have worn something more fun, like maybe a casual dress or something, but I was actually dressed like a teacher. I had my button down shirt and I had on my, pin skirt. I was not prepared at all to be at a carnival. And so like I feel like I was being sort of forced to drink it in a way. And then I was like, okay, well, that was one drink. I should be fine. I had took like a tiny little sip. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna go over here because I want to get on the carousel. I'm gonna go right on the carousel. And then Kago goes, me too. I want to go with you. So he's walking with me, and he's got his drink in his hand. I'm like, you should probably say out your drink. I don't think that's allowed on the ride. And he's like, it's allowed on the ride. And I looked at the sign that said, drinks are allowed, food and drink allowed on the ride. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, what kind of carnival allows you to drink that? Was that there before? I was never really actually paying attention. So then we get on there, and we're like, I get on one of the little unicorn horses because that was my favorite one. It had like gold wings. So I'm sitting on that one, and it's going around. It's like, then it's going around. Then it starts moving like faster. So I'm getting a little bit dizzy, and I'm like, okay. So I'm like kind of holding on, and he's like just sitting there, cool as a cucumber. Kego's sitting there, cool as a cucumber. He's actually leaned back on his, and he has his legs crossed. He's kind of just like chilling out. And I'm just looking at him like, oh my gosh, he's not freaking out. And I'm like, I don't feel so great being on this. And, if I puke, I'm like, well, I did have like earlier before I came, I did have ice cream. And it's probably going to be like different colors if I like spew everywhere. But as if like, the ride could read my mind, it stopped moving so fast. It started slowing down, then it came to a stop. So I get off this ride. I'm kind of like stumbling a little bit, and I feel dizzy, and I feel kind of sick. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I think my day here is done. I need to leave. I'm going to leave. And then Toshinori comes over to me, and he's like, can you hold these glasses for me? So he puts these glasses in my hand, and it's on like this black tray, very pretty, very polished. So the outside of it kind of had like a wave kind of design to it. Really, really fancy. I really loved it. And so the glasses were kind of tall, like this. So Toshinori had me holding them like this. So I had them in my hand, and he's like, kind of hold them out like this in front of you. Try not to hold them so close to your body. And I said, why? And he said, because if you get sick or anything. And I go, Toshinori, I'm fine. I'm not gonna get sick. You can trust me not to mess up some fine, you know, drinkware. I'm holding it in my hand. He's like, just bring it down a little bit. I brought it down some, and a hand comes up to my mouth, and they're pouring the drink in my mouth, and I'm drinking it. So Both Keigo and Toshinori are taking turns forcing me to sort of drink. And so I was feeling really like loopy and like dizzy. And then I'm like, Toshinori, take the cups out of my hands. He took them, and Keiko was like, well, I guess since she's feeling sick, she should probably go home. And Toshinori is like, I got her. So he was picking me up and carrying me, and I felt like out of it, and I was feeling dizzy, and I'm just like, you know what, I need to go home. I think it's time for me to go home because I know what you guys just did this on purpose to me, like made me come out here like this and drink like this, and so like I felt Toshinori leaving with me, like he was like walking away. He's like, bye everybody. He's like, yeah, so Cotton Candy Doll's sick. I'm taking her home. And the kids are like, oh no, she's gotta leave. And I'm like, I'm sorry guys, I'm so sorry. And they're like, it's okay. Thank you for bringing us. And I'm like, Toshinori, what are you doing? I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, nothing. And then we get to his house and he like closes his door and he like throws me on the couch. And so like I'm on the couch, I'm kind of like it's weird because we're not in like a bedroom or anything. I'm trying to sit myself up on the couch, but it's so weird because I can't really see anything. I'm like, Toshinori, I wanted to talk about what happened with Bakugo. He's like, yeah, so he said, I'm sorry. And I'm like, you are? He's like, yeah, I'm sorry. And I was kind of like thrown back from it because I'm like, he's actually apologizing to me. I can't freaking believe it. I thought for sure he was going to argue about with me about why he's right and why I'm wrong, but that's not what happened. He's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, he tells me he can't help it that he got jealous. Um, he said that's just how he felt, and he didn't mean to express how he feels. From now on, he'll try and like, I guess like watch out for that and try not to do that. And I asked him, do you get jealous of Frodo ever? He said he doesn't really get jealous of Frodo because Frodo needs my love. And I said, well, try and think of these kids as Frodo. They're just a lot older because Frodo will eventually get to their age where he's almost an adult. And he says he 100% understands it. And he's sorry that he feels that way, but he can't control how his feelings are. And he can't promise that, he can't promise me he will not get jealous again. So then I feel him on me, and now he's like taking off my shirt. And I'm like, of course this was going to come next, and he's like, and I was like, why did you get me, why did you get me this drunk? Why did you get me this messed up? And he's like, I just wanted to make a mess of you so that you couldn't really control yourself and that you could, so that, I couldn't, sorry. And so that you couldn't do anything to stop me. And, kind of basically like that. Like he just wanted me to be helpless because he said, alcohol is like the biggest date rape drug. So yeah, I wanted to date rape you like this. Isn't this fun? And I'm like, not really, because it's not really a great feeling. And he's like, are you feeling really bad? And I'm like, yeah, I think I had a little bit too much. So then he stops. He's like, okay, let me take care of you. So he gets me one of those drinks. It's called Fountain Gold, the ones I was telling you about. He has me drink that. He like elevates my feet. He takes off my heels and he puts them like he elevates my feet on these pillows and he kind of sits me up in the so I'm on a couch. He decides, he's not going to devour me. He's going to just try and do his best to take care of me. He asked me if I had a headache. I told him I had a headache. He got me like water and he got me medicine. He's like, drink this water and then drink the fountain go and then drink the water. And if you have to puke, then I'll get you a bucket. That way, And then he's like, if I don't have a bucket, you can go in my hands. And I'm like, no, I don't want to puke in your hands. No, thank you. You know, yeah, that's just craziness. And he's like, okay. He's like, I'll get like a jar. I'm like, Toshinori, you're not stealing my freaking vomit. Sorry. Like, I know you're yandere, but you're not taking it. And he goes, I'm not yandere. And I said, yes, you are. You're very yandere. And he's like, and what are you? And I said, I'm a normal person. I'm not, because I would never hurt you or kill you. And he's like, well, let's just sit here together. Let's just watch TV together. So he removed the pillows he used to elevate my feet, and he sat there and he put my feet and my legs on him. and he was kind of like rubbing on my legs and stuff, and it just felt nice to sit here and feel him touch me and not really be obsessive. And I really liked hearing the apology. Um, Everything went right. Everything went better than I wanted. So I'm kind of scared because I feel like there's definitely something behind that. I fell asleep there, and when I woke up, Toshinori had fallen asleep, like on my butt, basically. Like not in a. He was like laying the way he fell. He had laid. He was like falling over. Like my feet and stuff was still like on his lap, but he was kind of like here, like at my hip. And so like I called my guide. My guide came and got me, and I shifted out of there. But yes, that's what happened when I went back. I'm still shocked and surprised he used that method with me that a lot of other people use sometimes when we go out. Like, I don't go out anymore, but I used to. And, at the club or something, that's what will happen. Someone would come around with drinks and your friends would say, hold this for me. And then they like, while you're holding it, they will pick up like a shot and then make you drink the shot because they're just doing this. And it's like, if you don't drink it, it's going to get all over your clothes. And they're just going to keep pouring it because they're drunk and they don't give a damn. So trying to explain it to someone like that is pretty useless. But yeah, that's what happened. I would have really liked to spend more time with the kids. Like I would have liked time to spend with them. But of course the guys made it about them. And plus it you know what, I'm not really that upset because it wasn't actually a school day for like training. It changed into like a fun day for like fun. So it's fine if I didn't get to spend it with them. I get to spend enough time with them when I'm training them and get them ready for the hero world, like becoming heroes and getting ready to fight. And since I have experience with that, I get the chance to teach them. And for me, I feel like that's enough. They'll get to learn a lot from me. So yeah, that's what happened when I went there. I had originally planned to do something to them, but I was just like, Toshinori hadn't been acting that way. I probably would have, stuck him with the syringe. I did have it hidden there. He didn't find it. But yeah, I did have it hidden. Um, I'm glad that, nothing else escalated. I'm glad I didn't puke while I was there all over the rides because then the kids would have seen it. I didn't want them to at least see me sick. So that's a really, really fancy bar, though. I wonder if it's still going to be there when I get back. I have no idea. Anyway, yeah, so that's what happened when I went back. I have no idea what to expect when I go back there again. Toshinori spared me this time just because I really was feeling bad and sick. But I think next time, I don't think he's going to be that, that sparing on me. I don't know. But I'm glad to get to just spend the day with him, knowing that he really actually cares and he doesn't just want to like take me because everything to him is not just about, our intimacy is different. So it's like he still took satisfaction from that, which is perfect for me. So I'm so happy. Yay. And for Frodo, spanking him for the first time. I mean, my mom did it to me. This is the thing. Everyone agreed to be on the same page with Frodo. So as long as they do the same thing I'm doing, they'll be fine. Um, I'm glad I didn't stare at Frodo too much after to try and see like exactly what his reaction was because I don't know if he would have reacted the same way, but I needed him to know that I meant business. It's so important that I didn't talk to him after and I didn't treat him the same way after because when you're in trouble, you need to have that kind of tensity. You need to have that kind of tenseness with kids. Otherwise, they're going to run all over you. I always associated punishment whenever I was in trouble. I knew because there was another room where you got in trouble at. So, I mean, and I told them, for right now, it's fine for us to punish Frodo in this way while he's little. And when he gets older, obviously the punishments are going to change. He's not going to, keep getting them. They're just until his behavior gets under control because his behavior is out of control. Because Frodo does things like pull tablecloths off tables and destroy things. And the other time when Toshinori was trying to have it a me and baby day, and him sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, Toshinori was sitting on one side, Frodo was sitting in the middle of me and him, and Frodo dropped one of his little forks on the floor. because Toshinori doesn't have a high chair. He sat him in a regular chair. He just put pillows so that Frodo could reach the table, and it was so cute. And Frodo had dropped, one of his forks, and Toshinori went to pick it up, and there was an entire glass of orange juice next to him. He picked it up and poured it on top of Toshinori's head. And Toshinori had called Endeavor and was like, "Come back and get the baby." I had to recall Endeavor back and say, "Do not get him. It is my day to keep him." And Toshinori was like, "Bye, I can't stay here. I have to leave." Because I know he probably would have tried to kill Frodo. Not really try to kill him, but I mean, this kid he can get you really mad. But yeah, I feel like this is the right thing to do for him to get him on the right track, especially coming from me. He's really upset when he really doesn't like for me to be disappointed. So in him, so he gotta take that leap and show me he's really a good kid instead of the stuff of someone's nightmares. I don't like hearing that at all. So. I was trying to time this video. It probably went over the time I wanted, so I don't know. Anyways, guys, also Anime STL is coming up on Friday, April 22nd. It's going to be in the St. Charles Convention Center. If you come there, stop by the Honey Tea Maid Cafe and see me. I'll be there. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to get to go back to another anime con. And there's going to be some people there that plays in a lot of the good animes that I watch, so I'm excited to see that too. Anyway, I'll be doing another video soon. I'll be going back. I'm not sure if I want to go back tonight or go back tomorrow. It's not a Frodo day, so I'm not going to go there and just have it through whole 360 thing like I did the first time. Anyway, I'll let you guys know what happens when I go back there again. Give me some ideas for what I can do. I definitely want to try and set. I haven't been so well behaved. I have. So I feel like when I go back, I need to do something. Like, I don't know. That was definitely a dirty trick they did on me, both of them. I don't know what the plan would have been. I think that, honestly, I think Keiko was in on it too. I think he was planning on probably hooking up with Toshinori later, and they probably were going to try to get me together, both of them. But I'm glad it backfired on them because they got me too sick. It wasn't fun feeling sick like that, but I mean, anyway, so I'm definitely going to do something to them because they deserve payback for that, like they do. I know Toshinori took good care of me in the end. Like, he made me better. He made me comfortable. But I'm definitely gonna get them back for that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might trank. I'm thinking of tranking them, like building my own weapon just for them. Just make sure nobody sees me secretly. I don't know. Anyway, I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a like. And if you hated it, you know what to do. Also, don't forget to ring the bell. That way you're notified when other videos like this one become available. Ding! And I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye!